So it seems like game destruction comes from each and every corner. We've got not only the developers of games, but even down to the level designers that go out of their way to make all kinds of claims to make their games less appealing. Don't know what I'm talking about? Well, let's get to it on That Game Plays. Hi, friends. It's me, CC, here with the one and only Marvin the Movie Monster. How are you doing today, Marvin?
I'm doing good, my friend. I'm doing good. We are puttering. Well, not even puttering. We are rocketing along on that Park Place and Tooneytown TV alike. Just nonstop content updates, and I'm the guy that does it all. So
It
we
seems
are
like it.
we're charging
Yes.
ahead.
Yeah, I see your name out there all the time, but boy, did you put one together here. Couldn't believe this happened. Actually, of course, I believe this happened. Let's take out a game with a level designer. That's right. Perfect Dark level designer claims that gamers were a mistake. Well, thank you.
I was not familiar with with Perfect Dark, the original. I am, however, very excited at what appears to be a game starring former World Wrestling Federation champion and GI Joe icon Sergeant Slaughter, as noted here by his trademark very strong chin. Very very excited that Sergeant Slaughter the Sarge is finally getting his due.
Amazing. I think it's almost as he's left the planet. But look, as part of the long history of this unhinged attack on fans, you wrote a great article, and I somehow magically converted the headline into more conversation. So it looks like that level designer for Perfect Dark claimed that gamers were a mistake, and that's just one of the long line of incendiary statements the developer lobbied at paying customers. Colby Payne, a level designer on the upcoming reboot of Perfect Dark. Why are you rebooting a perfectly good game? I do not know. But they had a lot to say about people who might purchase this game. The designer's longstanding hatred of the very people that keep him employed was exposed by John F. Trent over at the Fandom Pulse in a recent article. Now, the comments started all the way back in 2021 when gamers voiced objections to the figures from Norse mythology being race swapped in God of War Ragnarok. Now, didn't stop there, did it, Marvin?
No, of course not. Of course, it did not stop there. That was the start of it. As always, it's fine to take some cultures and completely change them around to suit narratives, and others obviously not so much. But yeah, he started out calling people racist pigs in his little baby fit over this, and said that Angrboda was stunning. I guess she wasn't also brave. I didn't mind Angrboda in that game. I thought she was fine. I thought she was a decent character. I would not go as far as he said that she's without a doubt the most interesting character in that game. That game is defined by interesting characters.
Yeah, I don't know. That's kind of a wide-ranging statement, and especially when people have their individual favorites in games. Mostly the characters that really challenge you in a given situation, be it conversational or in a fight. I mean, oftentimes I think the best character in Cyberpunk was your pal, in that game,
Hmm.
who of course was removed after the after the what is it, a 3.5 hour playthrough to get just to the intro of the game. So
Right.
yeah, but look, the fact that it's 2021 and gamers still get mad over characters being black just boggles my mind. Now, that's a very simple take that he said there, right? I
Hmm.
think it was the fact that culturally you're replacing things that wouldn't exist in that culture in a mythological period. They're pretty well delineated and understood to be of that culture. So those
Hmm.
types
Yeah,
of
and
shifts, yeah, go ahead.
Angerboda is very much wrapped up in the mythology of the Norse gods and of Ragnarok. She's the mate of Loki. She's the mother of monsters. It is she is and not for nothing. There are people out there who are still Norse pagans. They do still exist. These are gods that people still keep. So, like, to race swap them to suit your political, your identity political narrative is absolutely insane to me.
Yeah, it is pretty insane. And when you look at this, the race swapping of Angrboda is a creative decision that many attribute to the maligned narrative design firm Sweet Baby Inc., which I can almost guarantee you that that's the case. And we're watching people leave Santa Monica Studio rather abruptly lately. I've noticed several people talk about that.
Hmm.
Anyway, in February of 2023, Payne responded to an article on reported harassment brought on actress Laura Bailey for her role as Abby in The Last of Us Part 2. Payne responded simply by stating gamers were a mistake. You wouldn't have a job without them.
That's exactly it. That is it. You know what? And as I say here, obviously no one supports, harassment or death threats made to people in any walk of life, especially, an actress who just read the script that she was given. She didn't write that character. She didn't deserve any of what she got. However, instead of just, understanding that it's a couple bad apples spoiling the bunch, he decided to lump all gamers in with this situation and say gamers were a mistake.
Yeah, well, Colby followed up saying, if adding female protagonists to video games is all it takes to make the worst people you've ever met not want to play them, we should add female protagonists to every game. Well, you've done that already.
Yeah.
there's, yeah,
But to say that was pretty much an industry mandate.
yeah. Yeah, and it's funny because I mean that was from our friend Smash JT who dropped that or at least updated us on that particular tweet. That one was from
Mhm.
2023, and then we've got if adding wait I read that already, and then we've got his desire to push gamers out of gaming has a real. This job would be great if wasn't it for all the customers vibe to it.
Yeah, it's a
Yes,
line from Clerks that I decided to add in because
yeah.
it's really what he's saying. He's like, "Man, my job would rule if it wasn't for the people that I'm making content for, that I'm making products for."
Well, yeah, and in this case, the content is the video game. So no, I mean you're
Yeah.
spot on. I mean it's just and look if you look at all the flags in this and the time of the year that it happened. I mean this is somebody who has just swallowed all of the Kool Aid.
Oh yeah.
Let me know your ideology. Before I even see any of your words, because now I already know just what they're tainted by. So yeah, I mean I prefer people to have to discover what I'm tainted by, but I don't know about
Yeah.
anybody else.
Not only has he swallowed the Kool-Aid culture, but he's currently stirring up a new picture of it.
Oh, he absolutely is. So we just got this situation here for the reboot of Perfect Dark, and that's already come under fire from the gaming world due to the modern day redesign of the main character, Joanna Dark. Yeah, well, saw this coming a mile away. And has become all too typical in the gaming world. Dark's jawline has widened, giving her a more masculine appearance. Well, yeah, dude, that's all the rage. I'm surprised there's not a
Heaven
blue, pink,
forbid.
and blue, pink, and white flag that is, on that makes up her costume. But maybe it does. We don't know. Could
We
be.
haven't seen them all yet. I'm sure there's
Yeah,
going to be, alternate costumes.
that's true. But again, this was announced way back in 2020. It probably won't release till 2026. That's a really long timeline for a
Really
game.
long time.
And the longer they get, the more expensive they get, and usually the more mistakes they make. I've noticed that
Mhm.
recently. It usually is usually bad because you get a lot of mixed ideas in there because it's gaming by committee. Bad idea. So anyway, so perhaps if Payne and his coworkers spent more time working on their game and less time tweeting about gamers, they'd manage to deliver a final product within a reasonable window. The question that you ask in the articles, will you buy Perfect Dark now that you know that the level designer, what they think of you? I'm going to tell you no.
Yeah, no. It's a big pass from me.
Yeah. Big yikes, bro.
It's
Big yikes.
Well, and Crystal Dynamics, they're not having a great time of it lately. It's This is just going to be another major blow to another formerly major studio.
Yeah. We're running out of quote unquote major studios, though. I mean, they're downsizing themselves. Marvin,
They are.
I
They
think.
are.
I don't think they're doing it intentionally. We've got another story coming out, as you may have watched or will be watching in the future, the live stream of that game place on Tuesdays. And we're going to be talking about some other studios that are downsizing themselves, like Ubisoft and
Uh-huh.
possibly Rockstar in the near future. We've got reasons why. Anyway, Marvin, any final thoughts you have on this or any questions you want to ask the amazing people out there?
At the end of the day, guys, these people will always inevitably out themselves. They are people that are supposed to be serving you, that are supposed to be making things with you in mind, and yet they actively hate you. So now we don't call for boycotts of anything, obviously, on this channel or my channel or Culture's channel. But at the end of the day, I urge everyone to just spend your money wisely, make sure it's going where you want it to go.
Yeah, indeed. And you make sure that the game you buy is valuable to you and that you'll get hours of enjoyment out of it. In other words, pay attention to that certain studios that are involved with certain other companies out there that may influence them. It might lead you to a better gaming experience. Anyway, let us know what you think about this reboot of Perfect Dark and a reboot of the character, along with some ridiculous statements made by an employee that are maybe designed to limit sales. And, as we always say, get your game on.